I have to start with Fury against Ngannou.
Yeah.
What's your view? I've spoken to you before quite a few times. This is the first time you've been into talkSPORT?
First time in the studio.
But you've been on the show lots of times,
Yeah,
not just this one with Jim White, the Breakfast Show and so on. You're not necessarily a big fan of YouTubers fighting boxers or boxers. In this case, you know, you've got Tyson Fury fighting someone that's not been in the boxing ring properly or professionally before.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I can understand why it happens. And you know, Tyson Fury's been taking a lot of criticism because he's fighting Francis Ngannou. But when you kind of try and think about it rationally, there's reports of $30 million for a purse to be fighting a guy who's making his boxing debut. I mean, who doesn't take that? You know what I mean? And the money the Saudis are throwing at it at the minute, it's hard to turn that down. What it did say about Fury was his run of fights after Wilder has been a bit disappointing with Chisora, White, and then Ngannou. So it needs to be AJ or preferably Usyk after that, and that's what we've got. So I don't think we'll complain too much.
Is it a bit of a risk? I know they announced the Usyk fight after this Ngannou, of course, but is it a bit of a risk? I expect him to beat Ngannou quite comfortably, but still, it is boxing. It is.
Look, yeah, I think it is. It's always risky to do that, and I think that, I mean, people talk about Francis Ngannou having zero chance. He's probably got zero or a little bit more than zero.
Has he?
He's a tiny bit, just because he's a puncher.
Okay.
But I mean, it's minute. But I think the fact that the fight with Usyk has already been announced, it kind of increases it a wee bit more and adds a bit more pressure to Fury.
Jeopardy, yeah.
But I mean, if Fury loses this fight, it would be the biggest upset in heavyweight boxing history. Bigger than Tyson, Buster Douglas, bigger than anything you want to name.
I think it could be biggest in sport in history.
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
Yeah,
probably.
possibly.
Yeah.
Because he's not a boxer. What was your mindset when Conor McGregor was fighting Floyd Mayweather? Because there were moments I got caught up in it, and I was like, if he catches him, and until I knew until someone said Conor McGregor's not even the best fighter from Ireland. What are you talking about? He's got no chance. But do you get caught up in?
No,
things like
I didn't. But I understood why people did. And you looked at the odds. The odds weren't that far apart, and you're going, what's going on here? This guy's having his boxing debut, and I think, no disrespect to Conor McGregor, but I think Mayweather kind of held him up for a while and played the game and was hoping for maybe a rematch payday as well. I didn't get caught up in it. I was actually out there. I watched that fight. I was out in Las Vegas, sitting one row in front of Bruce Willis. Actually, better seat than Bruce Willis.
One row in front of. You're closer to the ring than Bruce Willis.
Yeah. I was 6 rows back. He was 7.
Wow. Bruce Willis should be 7 rows back.
I know. You'd imagine. I thought he was going to be closer, but he was one behind me.
Did you speak to him?
No. Well, actually, this is what happened. I tried to get a photograph with him.
Yeah.
And he was speaking to Chris Eubank Jr.
Okay.
Having a conversation.
Such a weird, yeah.
So I called him Mr. Willis. Mr. Willis, can I get a photograph? And he just turned his back on me, and I thought maybe he didn't hear me. And I asked him again, and he done it again. He done it twice. So
surely he was facing you if he's turned around twice.
He was kind of looking. Well, yeah, but when he turned around the first time, I went round the other way, and then he's done it twice.
Don't like that. Take me down there.
Maybe he didn't hear you. We love Bruce Willis, right?
Yeah.
Do you ever get because
No, I used to.
Okay, I'm not going to slag anyone off. I know Tony Bellews to give me. Do you, because of you've been champion of the world in 2 different ways and so on, and people, you're probably not aware of it, or maybe you are, that when people meet you, they're a little bit in awe, they're maybe a bit starstruck. But have you ever been like that with maybe not boxers but sports people or actors? Do you get like that? Because loads and loads of famous people like being seen at boxing events, big ones.
Yeah, a couple of times. Mike Tyson, I met in a gym in Battersea when I was with the McGuigans, and it was when Freddie Flintoff was doing that documentary on the fight. So Tyson was down, met him, lovely fella, really, really nice, genuinely. My wife was there as well, and my daughter, and she was, I think they were the only 2 females in the room, and he swore once and he apologized, oh sorry ma'am, and all. It was dead nice. Daniel Day-Lewis went to one of my early fights. That was a big one. So yeah.
talkSPORT Drive, super opinionated sporting debate, Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.